Hey guys, it's Tony here from Signals Feed. Today I just want to give a quick tutorial on how to spot support and resistance using the Optionbot Pro system and then applying it to whatever trading platform you're currently using. In this video I'm going to be using IQ Options simply because it's got a very good trading platform and I just love the way that the graph looks like. I use it a lot in the training courses. Now you will need to have separate accounts. You can't, they're not sort of compatible. You need to buy OptionBot separate and use it with your IQ Options account. They're not supported within the software, but like I say, you can use them side by side, and they're very good software. Or you can actually go out and actually purchase the OptionBot outright as well, which is another reason why I wanted to put this video online. I'll explain that in a minute. Basically, within the OptionBot software, you have currency pairs for menus for 15 different currency pairs, and within these pairs you can easily spot support and resistance. Now there's a few pairs I've just gone through the charts a moment ago, and I just identified a couple of pairs which are offering support and resistance, and I just wanted to sort of explain the difference so it's quite clear what you're looking for, because obviously sometimes it's a bit difficult for people to understand this, and obviously with the past couple of weeks there's been a lot of trends and things like that, and I just wanted to sort of explain the sort of conditions that I look for when I'm trading. Now, for example, this Australian US dollar, as soon as we look at this, we can see that there's clear lines where it's not going past. We've got this line here straight across at 0.7539. Now, I would call this its resistance line because it's not gone past it. It's literally breached past it once, and then it's just been sat there really tight for the past sort of 6 hours. And at the bottom here, you can actually see there's several other lines where it sort of keeps clipping and turning round, which I call potential pivot points. Now, we would say that this would be the bottom line, like this particular line here, this marker here, it's breached up to this once and then come back down. But just above this, we've got this other line, which we've just seen it clip within the past sort of 20 minutes or so. It's just hit this line as well, so we can have a look there as well. I will call that its resistance line and these potential pivot points, okay, and I'll explain that within on IQ Options in a moment. So I'm just going to take down this number for the potential pivot point, which would be 7533. okay, so I'm just going to write that there, 7533, and a little arrow up. Okay, so go through the other pairs. There was another New Zealand US dollar here as well. This was offering a bit of support resistance. It's actually going through this point here right now. It's just kind of sticking between these two lines. As you can see, this is really struggling to go past either line at the moment. You can call this a nice support resistance line that we're witnessing right now. So I'd write that down as well as NZD USD 0.7008. I'm going to put an upward arrow because we want to go up, and this point at 0.701 we're going to put an arrow down. So just we'll keep a look at that in a moment. And then the other one was the USD JPY. Okay, and a similar sort of thing happening right now. We're just seeing this little support line popping up here. It has breached past it once, like I said, just at the bottom of this downward trend, and it's just corrected itself, and since then it's not breached past that again. So we can look at this line, which I've written down previously, was 10908, and we can think about placing a call there. I'm just going to go back to that New Zealand dollar, because the reason I was looking at this previously was for all these lines here. We can see this top line here where it's hit this a couple of times. It has breached past it previously, so we can consider it breaching past that when it approaches that line. But what we'll be waiting for is what I can look for in a minute is waiting for it to turn as soon as it hits that price. Now I get a lot of questions asking me what I mean about waiting for the turn. I'll explain that in a minute, but basically, you know, we're just waiting for it to literally change in the opposite direction. You know, a lot of the time this option bot does round it off to the 0.4 decimal, which makes it easy to spot the support and resistance. But when you're trading with IQ, it may sort of come up to 70156 and start to turn, and then that's when you want to trade. You don't want to hit it as soon as it hits 7015 and click it, because it's likely to, just because their decimals are missing, you know, because the IQ is quite a fine looking chart, and it sort of it shows you a lot of the detail. So we're going to flick over there now, because New Zealand US dollar is actually looking like it's on that support line. So just go over to IQ quickly. We've got New Zealand US dollar here now. I've got it on a 30-minute view right now, because it actually resembles a lot of the movement in the option bot. So we'll see these spikes here, and we can actually see that sort of similar pattern here. So right now we can see it's at that bottom point. We probably just missed that. Like I say, what we're waiting for that turn. Once it reaches this low point, you can see that it's approaching that area where you know there's support, and once it starts approaching that, you're looking for it to start heading back up again. Obviously it will vary. Like I say, it's hit this point here, it's 700901, and then previously it came down to 885. So you just have to judge it, and you just look at how it's reacting, and when it comes to that line, that's when you want to sort of place that trade. So right now we've got this coming back up. We can flick over to the Australian dollar and see what position that's in. Again, we've got this on the same 30-minute view, so this looks like it's maybe coming up to a position where we can trade this. We can see that there's several lines that it's actually hit, and it looks like it's going to come back down. We'll go back down. There we go. It's just shot straight back down for us, which is basically what I do to look for this. Is just look for indicators that it's previously hit that line before. Okay, so and like I say, you can see all this on the option bot, and this was where I really sort of, the first thing I look at in the day is this software, because I'll just go straight through the charts. Now I'll show you the difference. Okay, now these three pairs that we've spotted support and resistance in, if we compare these to, say, the Euro, Great British Pound at the moment, you know, it's a little bit more unpredictable. There's a bottom line here, but we've had these big spikes, and it's really quite hard to determine what's happening right now with that. So, and again with the Euro JPY, we're seeing more of a trend happening here. So again, you know, the difference between the two pairs is quite clear. You know, this one is really stable. You know, there's a solid line there where it kind of slaps you around the face, and sort of tells you that there's a support and resistance. You know, it's crystal clear. You know, and then unless you see these opportunities, then it's sometimes best not to trade these support and resistance strategies. You know, there's other ways to trade trends and things like that. But like I say, a lot of people sort of missing this sort of these clear options. Okay, if it's not crystal clear to you, if you're really struggling, like this is I mean, it doesn't look like it's just hit a resistance line there, but again, there's a lot of activity there, and we don't really want to be messing with it while it's too unpredictable. So we're just going to keep flicking through, and like I say, a lot of these pairs are just really not fit for sort of trading support and resistance. So the Great British Pound US dollar. Okay, again, now this movement here for the Great British Pound, this was down to some data that came out at 8:30. It was the retail sales today, and it was negative for the Great British Pound, which is why this this is a downward movement, or you'll see quite a big movement for the Great British Pound today at the same time, and that's down to that result. So a lot of these pairs are sort of corrected themselves after that data coming out. So you can expect to see quite a bit of volatility. So like I say, the New Zealand dollar is one we just identified. There you go, it's sort of crystal clear. It has broken past that support line now. Okay, so we're going to have to leave that. Okay, we can identify this resistance line. If it comes back up, we'll probably play with this resistance line and play down. So I'm going to cross that call out, because I'm not really interested in placing that, because I already know it's broken through that line once. Okay, if it does come back up and then sits tight there, like it has done previously, you know, we have seen it sort of slip and then come back up, so there is a good chance it will do that. But like I say, it's one to sort of maybe just be a bit more cautious of. Like I say, I'd rather see it come back up, hit it at least once more at that support line there before I consider trading that again. Okay, so we're just going to go over to the JPY USD and see what's happening there. because if that the New Zealand movement, yeah, I was going to say this has affected that as well. So there's been quite a movement with the US dollar. Obviously, let's have a look if that's affected the Australian as well. Okay, yeah, again, that's broken straight through there as well. So we can look more, because it looks like the US dollar seems to be getting a little bit more strength behind it. It's just pulled on all three of them pairs that I've just identified with the US dollar. So that might be something to consider, taking a step back and see what's going to happen on the IQ option. We can see this drop here, so we can see if it's going to just keep going down, excuse me. Okay, that's just flattened out for us there. So we're just going to see what's going on now. We've just seen this line here, actually. If you look here, it has previously touched this line. So it's something to consider it sticking to. Okay, and there's nothing to say that it will, but it has previously touched this line and not gone past it. Obviously, there's this line at the bottom as well, the 7527, but that was early this morning. So we can consider that, or we may have a downward trend. It's something we're going to have to keep an eye on now. Now that support line has broken, which I suppose is a good thing this has happened during this video. You know, now that line has broken, we have to take a step back. You know, you can't sort of try and guess what's going to go on. We need to really sort of analyze where it's going to go now. Now we've seen it sort of hit this line. You know, previously it's touched it before. There's a good chance it will turn back round here. If it breaks past this line, you know, we can look towards this line, and then if it starts turning there, then at least we know that there's a good chance that there's a new support line there. So it's just something to consider. But now that's broken, we're going to have to sort of have a look elsewhere. So see what's happening with the New Zealand dollar, see if that's going down still. Yeah, okay, so this is just bounced back down to this. It's hit this line twice. Where have we got here? I wouldn't say that was clearly support. We're looking more here. Personally, I'm thinking this is going to be more, or maybe there's a line below it. You know, so there's little indicators coming up previously that I would definitely consider. I mean, we can't ignore that it's just hit this twice. So have a quick look on the IQ options. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I think this is that spike that it just hit before. But it just seems to have flattened out a little bit, so we're just going to have to leave it, I think, for now. Just wait until that comes up. And then, like I say, once this starts getting a little bit more predictable, you can go ahead and trade it. But throughout the day, you want to be looking like I was doing previously, just identifying positions where it's not going to go any further. Now, the Optionbot software, it is a standalone system. Okay, it works with any broker account, but you do have to either buy the software, or you're going to have to open a new broker account within the software. They do have a selection of brokers, but like I say, if you do want to buy it outright, just click on payment. And then it will take you through to the Bitcoin payment. They do take payment only through Bitcoin at the moment, but full instructions on how to get set up with that can be found through the website as well. So it's actually really quite easy to do, and like you say, a lot of people have been requesting that anyway. So it's a really good option for people who've already got brokers and don't want to open more broker accounts. If you just want to go in and purchase that, then that's how you do it. I put a link down below for the Optionbot system, because it is really the only system that I use regularly, sort of day in, day out, to spot sort of support and resistance. It's available in Auto Trading Robot, but I still find that I'm coming back to this, and it does have the trend alert. So if I am focusing on the US pairs, or these particular three pairs that I wanted to work with, I just go straight into the user settings. I can configure all my pairs. So just turn everything off. It's turning into a bit more of an in-depth tutorial on Optionbot now. I'm just going to turn all these pairs off. Okay, we can update that, and then that'll turn off this this trend indicator. I can go back through and select the pairs that I wanted to work with. So I've got Australian US dollar, I've got New Zealand US dollar, and I've got USD JPY, which is there. Okay, so I'm going to update that. I've only got them 3 pairs at the moment, so I've just got this set to 8 pips and 10 minutes. That means as soon as it moves 8 pips of movement within a 10-minute period, it will alert me. So it's actually a little bit high for what I'm looking for. I actually want it to be a little bit more sensitive because I want it to tell me as soon as it starts moving in one direction. I'm going to drop that down to about 3 on all of them pairs. Okay, it might be a little bit too sensitive for JPY, but that will only alert me now to them pairs. Okay, so if I am getting a run of signals suggesting that one pair is getting stronger than the other, I can go over and have a quick look at that and see what's going on the markets. Now, that is quite handy if you're looking like now, for example, this has come low, it's come below that sort of particular strike point or support line even, we can be alerted now if it's coming back up. If we saw a load of call signals here, that will let us know that it is coming back up towards maybe that resistance line. But again, if we got a load of put signals, that will tell us that it's likely sort of breaking past that resistance, that support line again, and then possibly a trend emerging and things like that. So it is really a useful tool, really. Like I say, you don't find this chart anywhere else. And like I say, you could just go ahead and trade with your trading platform, whether it be IQ options. You can also load your own broker in here. So I've actually got my expert options loaded up in here. So just click on experts, and it will load up my expert options trading platform in here as well. So you can actually load your own brokers by clicking broker panel, and then just add your own brokers in there. Okay, so it's really quite simple, or you could just load them up on a different tab and have them on a different window. It just depends on how you work, but this is how it works with sort of expert options within the Optionbot 2. So it works really well. So like I say, it's one of the main tools that I really work with. It's actually just frozen. There we go. So as we can see now, actually this does look like it's just clicked this new support line here. It's just coming back up. Is that New Zealand dollar coming back up? It does look like it's reacting a very similar way to the Australian dollar, which is good for us, really. If we can see a pattern with all 3, then we know that if it's sort of just a little spike, see this is sort of correcting itself now as well. So we may find that it's still got some stability in there. It's just shifted. And we'll find a new pocket of support and resistance, which happens a lot. I might be able to sort of identify that quickly before we leave. For example, a shift in support and resistance, you can find sometimes it will step down. So we've got a line here previously where it kept hitting, and then it just stepped down, and then there's another line it kept hitting, and then it stepped down again, and then there was another line it kept hitting here. Now it's stepped down again, and then this may be the new line. Okay, so you need to identify this, and it's sometimes really easy to do. Like I say, just looking at the history, that's exactly what it seems to be doing. We're just seeing this line popping up, a little step down, another line, and like I say, these little steps, and hopefully this will become nice and easy to predict. So let's have a quick look at what position that is in right now. Let's have a look on IQ. Excuse me, 7531. That was Australian dollar, 7531, 7531. Okay, so here we go, 7531. There's that line. We can see this clearly. It's not really liking going past that. We've broken past it once, but I would say that's going to be a new resistance line, So sometimes it's really easy to spot this, compared to other currency pairs. These are the main ones that I would be working with all day. I would ignore everything else. It's really not giving me the opportunity to trade them. I know that my best opportunities probably lie with them 3 particular currency pairs. Let's have a look at the USD Swiss franc. No, not really. It's a bit tight. We seems to be having these sort of big movements. So okay, we've got the Australian US dollar just picked up a downward movement on the trend alert. So let's just see what's going on over there. Look at that. So that's telling me that the support's broken now. You know, I can't tell you the value of this information when you use it right. You know, it tells you exactly what's going on in the markets. Now, look at that. It's just bust through there. It's just come to this line, 7527. Let's have a look what's going to go on there now then. 7527, 7526. So it's just hit that. Okay. So it's broken past 27. Come down past 2.5. Okay, so we're getting a downward trend now, as you can clearly see. You know, and the option bot alerted me to that right away. You know, so really valuable tool, guys. So yeah, guys, signal speed group is growing by the day. Like I say, the signals are great. If you, oh, New Zealand's doing the same thing. Sorry. So a quick look at that. And the Australian dollar's picked up 2 movements now. Okay, so there's that movement for the New Zealand dollar. It's just sneaking back up. Okay, we're just seeing it just click this line here, look, the 7002. Okay, so I say it's sometimes really clear where it's going to go. Let's have a look where it is now on the IQ options. There we go, that's that downward movement there. So, right, it's just click that line again. Let's see what's going to go on. Is it going to go up or is it going to break through that? Is that a new support line? Okay, it looks like a new support to me. See, it's just hit that line previously, okay, that same line, and I just struggled to go past it. It's come straight back up. Okay, so that's exactly what we're looking for support and resistance, guys. Okay, so click the link down below to get access to the signal speed group. Like I say, we're doing really well in the money. So like I say, it's signals based on the same strategy that I've just shown you. Okay, so hopefully you can sort of really pick up on how to use your signals properly. So yeah, if you're not in a group already, the link is in the description box. And if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Cheers. Bye-bye.